What's going on in the Long Dark community? Today I want to talk about the cheat death mechanic in TLD, mainly because I want to share some ideas that I have that are based on the concept of preserving your runs, but overhaul the current mechanic so that it doesn't get that kind of results. Now I'm aware that this feature is not meant to be a core feature in every run, it's rather an option that Hinterland gave us to preserve runs that we feel personally attached to. If, for example, we spent dozens of days decorating our favorite safe house, or taking unforgettable and unique pictures with a camera, or just a very long run in general. However, I feel like if a feature like the Trader was received that poorly, it might be time to refine it just a little. Let me start with some reasons why I wouldn't want to use the current cheat death mechanic. First, I think it's too otherworldly, and it kinda robs me of some of the immersion that the Long Dark always had, which is that death is permanent. When you use the cheat death mechanic, the player character even says something like, "Wait, how did I get here?" Which kinda implies that Hinterland is aware that the player and the player character would be asking some questions. The question as to how this resurrection is possible does, however, as of now remain unanswered, which to me feels a little lackluster. Secondly, achievement progression. Using cheat death resets all achievement progress for those that need to be completed in a single game, which, if I wanted to, makes it more attractive to me to still back up my saves. Which I never did, by the way, but I feel like I would rather do that than use the actual cheat death mechanic, because I feel like both break the immersion in the same way. Yes, you get punished by using cheat death, but having to reset to an earlier stage of the game can also be punishing depending on how far it sets you back in time. I feel like, if anything, cheating death should not stop badge progression, because the number of times you can use it is limited anyways. Third, I would like it better if it wasn't the exact same thing to use it on day 1 as on day 500. I think it's just a little quirky to use it on day 1, but then there also isn't any point in the game where it would feel good to use it. With all that in mind, when it comes to changing a mechanic, I know everyone will have a different opinion, and you're more than welcome to share yours. Okay, so let me tell you about my concept. What if, after a certain time, you get a permanent positive affliction called Will to Live, or Astra to Live? Anyways, it would take, for example, 50 days on Pilgrim, 60 on Voyager, 70 on Stalker, and 80 on Interloper, and may or may not be disabled for Misery. This condition would reapply and stack after 50 to 80 days, and here's how it would work. After this many days, you have developed a strong will to live. You'd have the mindset to hold on to this new life that you built in the remoteness, and you could draw upon this strong will once per application. It would work similar to a stim, but you can choose to use it when you drop to 0% condition. In that moment, you get this massive adrenaline rush, recovering 30% condition immediately and fully restoring your fatigue bar for 1 minute like a stim does. As a side note, don't take the numbers that I'm using too seriously. These could all be adjusted to fit the difficulty that the devs desire for the game. When used, you get a 10-second frame in which you are not attacked by wildlife, so you don't end up immediately being mauled again if your cause of death was an animal attack. After choosing to dip into your will to live, the status would be disabled, and you can't use it again until you reach the next point in time where you reapply the affliction. You would also be able to stack the affliction. So for example on Interloper, if you didn't use it between day 80 and 160, you could draw upon it twice from day 160 on, and thrice from day 240, and so on. Now I'm aware that it could become a strategy to farm for days and then sit around with 5 or so stacks, but I think that wouldn't be a big problem, because think about it. You might eat through multiple stacks on one singular occasion where you end up in a tough spot, and imagine how cool it would be to just tell the wolves, "No, I'm not dying to you, and I'm not dying to you, and I'm not going to die today." There is one limitation as to when this mechanic is usable, and that would be if you fall out of bounds, like for example in the ravine. Because this mechanic wouldn't magically teleport you to a different place, you would then be stuck out of bounds, and that wouldn't be sensible. Using the Will to Live system would not disable achievement and badge progress, as it would be immersively built into the game and not a magic extra life. As you could probably guess, my personal vote would go somewhere between no and only for keepsake for the current state of the feature. Will to Live would be an optional feature for those that don't want anything in the game that potentially reduces the challenge, although it would also be optional to use it when you drop to 0% condition, as you get to choose if you want to use Will to Live or not. Now, I designed this feature so that it would fix the issues that I have with the current one, but I'm sure that some of you have different aspects that they don't like about it, so definitely tell me in the comments what they are. Maybe we can come up with an even more refined solution for the task at hand. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Stay safe. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.